Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to bring you along with me as I wrap our Christmas presents, so let's get started. If you don't know me, my name is Anna. I'm a mom of 3 and I make videos here on my channel about lifestyle and motherhood. I really enjoy wrapping presents. It's one of my favorite things, but I've never made a video about it, so I figured this would be the perfect time. I'll just show you a few simple ideas for wrapping presents and maybe just like chat a bit with you. I also have a cute idea that I think you might like for like dividing up each kid's present, so I'll be sharing that with you too. So I know some people do like a separate wrapping paper for each kid, and that's how each kid knows which presents they are getting, or sometimes people do like just gift tags and write their name, but I had this idea that I thought was kind of cute, so I printed out all of these little Christmas animals. This is just like cardstock paper or whatever, and I printed out different animals, and each kid is going to have a different animal. So for example, one of the kids will be like all the little pigs, a different one will be the little reindeer. So each person will get a character, and I'm going to stick these onto each present, and then what I'm going to do is put one inside their stocking, so they're actually not going to know who each character belongs to until Christmas morning when they open their stockings. So I thought that was a cute idea. I was inspired by someone that said that they do like a separate wrapping paper for each of their kids, but then they put a piece of the wrapping paper in the stocking. So it's like the same idea, but since I only have a couple different wrapping papers, I'm going to do it with these. So anyway, I'll go ahead and get started. I think I'm going to start with these big boxes right here. That way I'll make sure that I have enough wrapping paper for them. I always love wrapping paper that has like a grid on the back side because it makes it so much easier to cut in a straight line. If you're wondering what we got our kids for Christmas, I did post a video about that. So if you haven't seen it, I'll link it right here so you can watch it. But basically we're pretty minimalist, I guess, with our gifts for our kids. And this is actually the Christmas that we've gotten the most gifts for them. There have been years where we literally just get them like one small thing. So I guess you could say that this year we're going all out, even though it's still like not that many. If you've watched my channel before, you might know that I grew up in Mexico. We moved there when I was 8 years old. And I lived there for 13 years, all the way up until I got married and my husband and I moved here to the US. But ever since we moved here, every year we have gone back to spend Christmas in Mexico with our family. All of Benny's family lives there, and most of my family still lives there too. So we've always wanted to spend the holidays there together. We've been married for 9 years, and this is the first time that we're gonna spend Christmas here. So we live in Texas, for those of you who didn't know, and we're just going to be here, us with the kids this year. So I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm sure we're also going to miss our family. It's going to feel different this year, but I think it's going to be lots of fun. Growing up in Mexico, it's definitely a different culture, obviously, and there's some kind of fun things that come along with Christmas time. So I thought maybe you would enjoy hearing a little bit about what Christmas is like in Mexico. So here in the US, for the most part, it's like a well-known thing that Santa will bring gifts for the kids. But in Mexico, what most people will say is that baby Jesus brings you your gift. So usually the kids, instead of like expecting Santa to bring them their presents, they would say like, oh, I'm going to ask baby Jesus for whatever gift they want. So that's kind of an interesting difference. We never did either, honestly. We would just get gifts from our parents. They definitely do have Santa there in like decorations and stuff like that. Like people know who he is. And maybe these days more people are starting to do like the Santa bringing gifts and stuff like that. But back in the day especially, and some people still, I think, always said it was baby Jesus. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the little animals for these two gifts. Just like that. I think that the kids are gonna have fun like searching for their little character and like figuring out which gift belongs to each kid on Christmas morning, so that's kind of exciting. Now that I got the big ones out of the way, I can start with the normal ones. None of these gifts are what the box actually says. Like this is a shoebox that I just used to put like a different gift in. So let me know if you do that too, or if you like buy nice boxes, because apparently I don't. Another interesting thing about Christmas in Mexico is that Christmas Eve is a pretty big deal. I feel like depending on the family, that can be the case here in the US as well. But in Mexico, usually they will have like a special dinner on Christmas Eve. Usually something like tamales or some kind of like warm, comforting dinner. And something kind of fun that families will do sometimes is make a fire. Now in Mexico, most of the homes don't have like a big front or backyard. Usually the homes are like pretty close to each other, and basically your door is like right by the sidewalk most of the time. So what lots of people do is actually make a fire out on their sidewalk. I know that would, for the most part, never be cool here in the US. Like, it wouldn't even be acceptable to most people maybe, but in Mexico it's definitely a thing. So the families will put out like just some wood there in front of their front door pretty much. They're on the sidewalk, and then they'll light their fire. And then everyone will sit out there drinking like hot chocolate, or they make this really good, it's called ponche de frutas. It's like a warm tea kind of, made like with a bunch of different fruits, kind of like a fruit punch I guess, but it's hot. And it's super, super yummy. And then sometimes people will even like take their meat out there and like cook their carne asada there on the fire outside. It just depends. Most of the time people play like super loud music. Not everyone, but lots of families do. And most of the time people will stay out like super late. So like even the kids, but especially the adults, will stay out like past midnight, just like visiting out there. And some people will stay up like until like 2, 3 in the morning. So basically, you just have to plan to not get too much sleep, because you know that at least one of your neighbors is going to have like a loud party going on. Oops, I cut it pretty close on this one. I think I'm just going to leave it though, because I think it'll still work. It's like barely touching. So then Christmas morning, that's when most families do open their presents. I haven't really seen anyone do stockings. I don't think they're super common over there. And what's kind of fun is that on Christmas morning, you'll see like all the kids outside of their houses like playing together with their new toys. Maybe like riding their new bike, or like showing the neighbors their new little baby doll, stuff like that. Even though we've lived there for so many years, we still have some kind of like more United States type traditions in our family, I guess. So what we usually do is we'll like wake up and have a big breakfast. Usually Christmas morning is pancakes and waffles. My mom always makes like a homemade strawberry sauce with fresh strawberries. And then we do like whipped cream and maple syrup. And we have like pecans and different toppings for the pancakes and the waffles. She also always brings out her fancy china plates, and we all eat on those, so that makes it like extra special. And then after breakfast we go and we get our stockings, and my mom usually puts like mostly candy in our stockings. But she always puts like some type of fruit in there too, like an apple or an orange or something like that. Sometimes like nuts like pistachios or something, and then like a bunch of yummy candies. My camera cut out for a bit, so you can see that I made progress with a few more. But anyway, after we do our stockings, then we start opening up our presents. We usually do like a gift exchange where we all draw a name, and that way it's like easier for everyone's budget. You don't have to buy for everyone, just for the person you got. And then, I mean, it's like optional, like if you want to give to everyone, that's fine, but you don't have to. And it's kind of nice, especially now that our family has grown. And also it just kind of helps the focus not to be just the presents. Like, we don't really need that many presents, but it's definitely still fun to like have that moment together opening up gifts. So once we're done opening presents at my mom's house, usually Benny will head over to his family's house and he'll like spend the afternoon with them. I usually stay at my mom's for a couple more hours with the boys. I usually eat lunch there with them. Most of my family is vegetarian, so my mom makes a like vegetarian turkey roll that's really good. She usually does that for Christmas along with like mashed potatoes and green beans and some kind of yummy dessert. Then once we're done eating lunch, it's usually like a late lunch, I'll head over to my in-laws and then we open presents over there with them. Sometimes we also do like a gift exchange with drawing names, or sometimes everyone gets gifts for everyone. It's fun for the kids over there because they have a little cousin. She's around Caleb's age. So that makes it fun to open presents with her. And then we usually just have dinner with them. So again, something like tamales or carne asada. Sometimes we even just rewarm stuff from Christmas Eve.
¡Ah, no manches! Andas bien invertida.
Todos unos navideños. I still have to do a tiny bit more.
How many more things?
Just one more. So go back over there, okay? I don't want you peeking. So yeah, that's pretty much our Christmas traditions. Let me know what Christmas traditions you have with your family. This year we'll probably do something similar, just a bit modified for being here. And we will be traveling to Mexico soon after Christmas, so we'll still get to see our families and everything. So we're excited about that. I did want to show you guys how to make these little gift bags with wrapping paper. They work really well for when you have a gift that's not perfectly square, anything kind of odd shape that's hard to wrap. So let me go ahead and get a closer shot so that you can see how I do it. So in this case, I'm doing it for this. It's obviously something that would be hard to wrap on its own, but this works perfect. So you want your piece of wrapping paper to be about the right size with a little bit extra on the top and on the bottom. So you just want to fold it and then you'll tape it right here. And you'll tape it here just to kind of secure it. And then on this side you're going to fold it up. You want it to be about the width that you want the bottom of the bag to be. So about like that works good. Fold it up like this, and then you want to open this bottom part and make it into like a triangle. Hopefully you can see how I'm doing that. Just like this. And you'll just flatten it well. And then you're going to bring these in like that. Just overlap them a bit. And then you'll tape it really well there. I like to do kind of like an X here. And then another piece in the middle. And that's really all you have to do. You can see that once you unfold it, it's kind of like a bag. So then once you have that, you can just put your item in there. And then I usually just fold it over a couple times. just like that, and then tape it. You could use like a staple right there. You can put like a pretty bow or something like that. And then you have a nice little wrapping bag for your odd-shaped gift. Well, I think that that's all for today. I am gonna go in and try to add like some little ribbon, different things like this to my gifts, but I'm running out of battery, so I'll go ahead and do that off camera. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you liked it being kind of chatty and just hearing about my Christmas traditions and what my childhood was like growing up in Mexico. Make sure to let me know about your Christmas traditions in the comments below. Considering I said we were going minimal, I feel like this is still kind of a lot of presents, but this includes my husband and even a couple presents for myself that I wrapped myself because that's just how it usually goes for me. But I hope that you have a great day. Thank you so much for being here, supporting my little channel, and I'll see you again soon in another video.